Welcome back to the Express at the Richmond Curling Club for the Dominion Curling Club Championship. Now up next on the show, we're going to talk electric vehicles. Cars like the Nissan Leaf and the Chevy Volt hit Canadian roads this year. That demand for zero-emission vehicles is getting bigger than ever. But where do you go when you need a charge? Well, a Delta company has a solution for you.
The all-electric Chevy Volt is a car Ron Smith doesn't mind spending a lot of time in.
Yeah, it feels nice and sporty, and it's fairly quiet, gets good economy, and yeah, so it's a nice car.
And that's important because the electrician from Vancouver Island does a lot of driving.
This charge here tells me I can go 26 kilometers.
The Volt is one of 3 electric vehicles purchased by the Township of Qualicum Beach. And as a green-conscious driver, Ron says it's a huge leap forward.
It feels good. It feels like you're trying to do your little part and, help out the ozone layer and everything that goes with that. So it feels good to drive for sure.
This year, 3 electrics, the Chevy Volt, Nissan Leaf, and Mitsubishi i-MiEV are being introduced to the Canadian market. And while demand has been steady, sales aren't exactly skyrocketing. One reason? Limited access to quick charge stations.
The reality is most buyers or purchasers of these vehicles will require a level 2 charging unit.
A unit like this one by Eaton Electrical in Delta. Its 240 volt capacity can charge the Volt in about 4 hours. That's half the time it takes a standard level 1 charger.
Charging your electric vehicle is quite simple. You simply remove the cord set, move over to your vehicle, and plug it in. It locks in place. Charging station will indicate that the unit's charging, and you're done.
The company hopes to see these units in garages and parking lots all across the country as the popularity of EVs grow.
We are seeing incentives being put in place by both municipalities, the provincial government and federal government to help subsidize the purchase of the units, in some cases even the subsidizing of the installation of the charging unit itself.
It's a great time. This is the edge of a great technology.
And Ron says there's no better time to buy than now, because come this December, electric vehicles like this are eligible for a $5,000 subsidy from the province. As if saving on gas wasn't enough. I'm Tim Chung in Delta for The Express.
One charging station costs about $2,000, and you can get more information at eaton.com. Instead of thousands, let's talk hundreds up next. The West Vancouver Police Department is celebrating their 100th anniversary next year. And as part of the celebration, they're getting something they've never had before, an official flag.
Come 2012, the West Vancouver Police Department will be celebrating their 100th anniversary. This centennial celebration is a big milestone, and the police department will be going through some changes to mark the occasion.
First off, it's the changing of our symbols. The crest of the West Vancouver Police Department has been around a long time. The actual look of the crest itself is symbolic of its British connection.
Grab your gun to draw it that way.
Leading up to the celebration, Corporal Jag Johal has been collecting some of the department's older uniforms and memorabilia to showcase to the public.
I don't know the origins of the original ones, but most certainly it's going to be either the black one here or the purple one that we see next to it. Shortly thereafter, whenever they finished using these, they went over to the standard blue color.
Another major part of the celebration is a new flag, something the department has never had.
I could think of no better opportunity for this department to have its own flag created by the Heraldic Authority and signed off by Her Majesty the Queen of Canada.
These additions are exciting, but they cost money. And if it wasn't for the support of the West Vancouver Foundation, the department might not be getting them.
We reached out to the West Vancouver Foundation to partner with us on the design of the crest and its approval process and all the financial components associated to that.
In May 1912, they started with one member, Constable John Tier, who often traveled by foot or by horse. Fast forward 100 years and things are much different now.
We have 81 sworn staff and 24 civilian staff or non-sport staff who are here to support the operations of the department. We have a complement of marked police cars. We have 10 marked police cars, the black and whites with the gold trim, motorcycles.
The technology and record-keeping seems so out of date compared to what's used today, but the one thing that's never changed is the sense of community between the police and their citizens.
The department has always had a strong relationship with the community. It, going back to the principles of Sir Robert Peel, the police are the community is the police. And that's the way we exist, and that's the way we can always ensure that we will exist in the future.
I'm Peter Verge in West Vancouver for The Express.
This story on the work of the West Vancouver Community Foundation has been made possible in part through a generous grant from Odlum Brown Limited.
If you're wondering why you didn't see the West Vancouver Police Department's new flag, it's because they can't show it until the Queen approves it, and they're still waiting for her royal signature. You're watching The Express at the Dominion Curling Club Championships. We've got more from the ice and these stories coming up. Good times at the Township 7 Grape Stomp. Whistler's popular new winter sport. The Express, we are your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by The Lounge Hair Studio, loungehairstudio.com.
The West Coast, Lotus Land, Hollywood North, home to 100 languages and as many faces and voices. In communities atop mountains and in cities on the sea, friends and neighbors, parents and children, dog walkers, social talkers, and vintage rockers. It's where we all come together. Your neighborhood, your community, your local voice. Shaw TV.
Welcome back to The Express at the Richmond Curling Club for the Dominion Curling Club Championship. 112 club curlers from across the country competing at a national level. Pretty exciting. So if I say crush, you're going to think crush the competition, right? No. Up next on The Express, we're heading to Township 7 Vineyards and Winery in Langley for their annual Grape Stomp.
It was all fun and games and cold, sticky feet at Township 7's second annual Grape Stomp and Harvest Party.
It's part of, the tradition back in the old country where people would get together after they've had, the amazing harvest and a celebration and a big feast. You got to get those grapes stomped.
The object of the game is for your team to stomp grapes, make juice, and fill wine bottles.
The contest is really, it's a timed event. So you must fill 6 bottles up, and people they're just all about winning. And I loved it. You just sit back and see people's competitive nature.
And this competitive nature even extended to costuming.
Cheers! Our inspiration was the I Love Lucy show, and there was the one sequence where she was stomping on the grapes. My friend and I were here this summer for Art in the Vines, and I said, you know what, we're going to do it. And I even shopped for the wigs early in August.
I'm expecting it to be really squishy and cold, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun, and actually this is something on my bucket list, to stomp grapes, and I'm getting a chance to do this in BC.
Besides stomping grapes, visitors had a chance to taste and purchase wine and meet Township 7's winemaker.
It's always great when people come up and say, oh, I had your wine with a nice piece of this or that, and it was fantastic. And it never gets old. Every once in a while you just go, yeah, it really does make people happy.
The Grape Stomp and Harvest Party was in support of Critter Care Wildlife Rescue, one of several local charities that Township 7 supports.
Awesome job, good job.
A great time was had by all, and this event will no doubt continue to grow with each harvest.
I've never done a grape stomp, but I'm going to come next year. We're at BC Wine Appreciation Society. We'll have a group here next year, grape stomping.
And I think I'd like to be a part of that group. In Langley, I'm Kendall Harris for The Express.
Oh my gosh, that looked like so much fun. The website is township7.com, and their Langley tasting room is open daily from 11 until 6. Now up next on The Express, we're going from the valley all the way to the sea to sky. Whistler, it's a family town. There's lots of stuff for kids to do with mom and dad in the winter. They can ski, they can snowshoe, and they can even play hoops.
We're gonna have half of you on this side of the court. Okay, one of you will be on the black line. Your partner will be about right there.
I love hanging with my dad.
A statement every parent wants to hear. And head coach Alan Chris Manson is no exception.
there's nothing better than coaching your kids. You know, it's fantastic, and it's hard sometimes because you come out of practice and you actually realize you didn't actually spend much time with them because you're kind of organizing the whole group. So I'm really learning how to try to get in there and spend a little bit of time with them. Move, pass, pivot.
Alan is the father of 2 little girls, 10-year-old Aiden and 8-year-old Ryan. Together, the 3 of them ski, bike, golf, and swim, as well as play soccer and now basketball.
My dad taught me just because our friend has basketball hoops, so we practice sometimes on there.
And now Dad is extending that quality family time to the creation of a new community basketball program called Whistler Youth Basketball, which is hosted weekly at Myrtle Phillip Community School. The badly needed program reaches out to Sea to Sky corridor kids from grades 4 to 7. Today's hour-and-a-half class begins with drills on passing and shooting.
Snap. Come on, Nikki, let's get it moving now. Let's go. Ready? You ready? It's really about growing basketball, so when they go and play in the schools, be it the elementary school, the high schools, they'll have some skills, and again, they'll have some coaches that can coach. So it's all about introduction to basketball at the grassroots level. It's about growing the players, but it's also about growing the coaches as well.
Coaches like Ryan's mom. Tuesday night basketball is an entire Chris Manson family affair.
My mom's a good basketball player because she gets it from my dad.
Right hand dribble.
Alan's girls aren't his only fans. A famous friend got behind the program as well.
Steve Nash has done a great job in sponsoring this throughout Canada, and he's an old teammate of mine from way back.
Alan played basketball for Canada from 1987 to 1992, competing at the Pan American Games, World Championships, and the 1988 Olympic Games in Seoul, Korea, where his team finished 6th. Ryan couldn't be prouder, and not just for her dad's achievements.
When he was in high school, he wasn't very good, but he practiced and practiced. He got really good, and then he got to play in the Olympics.
Go, ball the partner, extra balls away.
It's this lesson of hard work and dedication that Alan wants to pass on to his new troop, which is playing 3-on-3 and 4-on-4, as the kids put what they learned in their drill exercises onto the court.
I didn't start playing until grade 7, so a lot of these kids are ahead of where I was. It's all about the coaching, right? You get the coaching and you make it fun, and hopefully the kids will take it to the next level.
With 2 daughters the tallest in their classes, Aiden and Ryan may follow in their dad's footsteps, but there is really only one thing Alan hopes to hear right now.
I'm looking forward to getting better and learning new stuff that I haven't learned yet.
From Whistler, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for The Express.
The 50-plus player program is open to all kids in the Sea to Sky, and you can go to whistlerbasketball.com to sign up. You're watching The Express, and it's time now for our spotlight on local events. Canyon lights at Capilano Suspension Bridge Park. See hundreds of thousands of lights twinkling throughout the park while you decorate gingerbread cookies, sing along to carols, and watch glass ornament demonstrations. Featured at the Roundhouse Performance Center, Gold Mountain Dream explores cultural conflict through interactive media arts, live music, and spoken word. Off-White Christmas takes a humorous alternative look at Christmas that turns the snowy white holiday on its head. Laugh along as the Vancouver Theatre Sports League improv players explore Christmas-time cultural phenomena and stereotypes. Of course, the Dominion Curling Club Championships on now here at the Richmond Curling Club through to Saturday, November 26th. So you can come down and cheer on 28 teams from across the country. And what do you think of this? This is my Movember stash on a stick. How's your Mo coming along? We're going to tell you about a Movember contest later this week on The Express. We want to remind you, too, that the Timmy's Christmas Telethon is back after a 10-year hiatus. That's December 4th. We hope you join us then. Thanks for joining us today on The Express, only on Shaw TV.